Okay, let's go.
If you do it just like that, my closing ratio was almost 100%. When I would sit down with a family, a couple, if they're going to do business with me, I would get probably almost 10 out of 10 to do business with me. And how can it help them really tie it in, how it's going to help them get that dream life they want. That's what I really want to get them to see, is that our compensation is so fantastic that the things that they really want in life are, they're going to be able to accomplish them with us here. All right, now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be covering the compensation, which really is part of the recruiting part of our presentation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get them to understand the potential financially, and how can it affect them, and how can it help them really tie it in, how it's going to help them get that dream life they want. That's what I really want to get them to see, is that our compensation is so fantastic that the things that they really want in life are, they're going to be able to accomplish them with us here in Primerica. So listen up, it's going to be great. Well, what I wanted to share with you now is I wanted to talk to you about our compensation. If you do this, you saw what we do basically, right? You can see that, buying term versus cash value makes more sense, right? You can see that being out of debt versus being in debt makes more sense, right? And you can also see that saving money, investing money versus not investing money makes more sense, right? Those are really important. And then the fourth thing that I think is really important is we believe that you should own your own business versus being an employee, which is something that you said you thought about, and you've been thinking about anyways, right? So I want to show you what, from a financial perspective, what's in it for you. If you get involved in this business and you decide to do this, you get good at it, and you build a business, what can you potentially earn, right? So, and if you have any questions, you can ask, but I just want to go over those three products. We talked about that loan product, right? $180,000 loan, $500,000 term insurance, and then in the investment of, basically $600 plus a month from the client, right? As a regional leader with our company, which is, you could be a full or part-time position, if you were to do that one loan that we just shared with you earlier, that's $1,790 commission to you if you were to do that loan for that client. Now remember what you did. You saved them a ton of money. You helped them save, a lot of money for retirement, over $2 million. Imagine helping them to that extent and then getting paid $1,790 to do that. Is that pretty good?
Yeah.
It's fantastic, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
One or two of those a month would help a lot, right? And then on the insurance transaction, remember we tripled their coverage, right? And saved them $48 a month. On that transaction, you make $490 for doing that, for helping them with that. And then on the investment, helping them do the investments, that money that we saved them on the mortgage and whatnot, investing that money, you'd make $125 every year that they invest that money. That's what you'd make, $125. So the first year, $125, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, 20 years into it, you'd still be making.
Still making money.
Yeah, exactly. So if you were to sit down with a client and do that $180,000 loan, that $500 term insurance transaction, and help them to investments, compensation to you would be $2,405. So I want you to think, how long would that take? How many hours does it take to be able to do that? It takes, probably it's going to be at least a couple of visits. It would probably take you 5 to 10 hours to do that.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. So even at 10 hours, that works out to about $240 per hour. So from a part-time perspective, that's pretty fantastic, right?
That
I mean,
is.
think about that. I don't know what you make per hour right now, but
It's more than
probably
I make in
not.
a month.
It takes me like 2 weeks to make that.
Yeah, okay, so then you can see how, does it make sense for you to put some time and energy into this, to learn this, to do this? Can you see that?
Yeah.
And don't you think there's tons of people out there that if you could show them all this and they can understand what the potential was from, that they'd want to get involved also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be that hard to build a business, especially if you let me help you, because I know what I'm doing. I'm really good. And you put me in front of those people, I promise you, we're going to do business and recruit a lot of those people. We're going to have a lot of success. All right. So all you've got. I'm going to teach you how to. You know how I went everything.
Right.
I'm going to teach you how to do all that, word for word, exactly like I did it. In fact, we have a fabulous system that I put together that's on video, it's audio, it's everything at your disposal. It's going to be fantastic, really simple. So even on the comfort of your computer at home, you could be learning exactly how to do everything I showed you today on your own time. Get up early, stay up late, whatever. You can learn that. You're going to learn everything. There's not going to be anything you're not going to know how to do. It's going to be really impossible for you to fail if you really put some effort into it. So do you think it's worth putting some effort into it? Put a few extra hours a week into that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, can you see that? But it gets even more exciting than that. Look at this. I'm a regional vice president, okay? And so I'm full-time as a regional vice president, and it probably could take you anywhere from, I'd say probably, 18 months to 24 months to become a regional vice president if you're real serious, okay? So probably less than 2 years if you really, get committed, right, and get going at this thing, and you're coachable. One of the things I find a lot of people, they start, but they're not real coachable. They don't really listen. If you're a coachable person, I mean, I don't know, is he coachable?
So far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
He
good.
does what I tell him.
All right, good.
As long as
So
it
then
makes
if you're
sense,
not
yeah.
coachable, I'm going to talk to her
Yeah.
about you not being coachable. But anyways, the bottom line is if you're full-time and you did exactly the same thing, the loan, the insurance, and the investments, instead of making $2,400, you'd make $2,600 on the loan, $665, $190, or a total of $3,500 for doing
Wow.
the same thing. You only have to do a few of those a month in order to do. You can see how you could make
Oh, I
pretty
see.
good
And
income.
I can stop working. and
Yeah,
stay
there you
with
go. Exactly. Then you can stop working. I was going to mention that. Thank you for bringing that up. And that's one of the things you want, right?
Right.
You want to be able to do that. But the part that's really the most exciting, where you have the potential to make the kind of income we were talking about, where you can make the 2 or 3 or 4, where you can do what you really wanted, is to find, recruit, train, and develop other people. Okay. So let's assume that. Let's reverse places. You're me and I'm you, right? And you're talking to me about this, and you get me involved in Primerica.
Right.
I look at all this, it makes total sense to me. Fabulous company, fabulous products. What you do for people is really fantastic. You change people's lives in a really dramatic fashion, and you help people get along the path to where they really want to go financially, right? So you like all of it. Great compensation, right, for doing it. So let's say you get me involved and you train me, like I'm going to train you, right? You teach me everything I need to know. Now I start going out and seeing clients on my own, right? So let's say that I go see, John and Mary, and I do the loan, the investment, the insurance, and the investment, right? So for me, I'm excited. I make $2,400, but what's in it for you for training me? We have a thing called an override. Okay, the override works like this. So I'm a regional leader. I make $1,700 on this loan. You're a regional vice president. You can see there's a difference, right? The difference is $870. So if I close this loan and you had trained me and you're a regional vice president, you're my regional vice president, you're going to make $870 even though you're not there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I go to and I call you up and I say, hey, Martin, it's Hector. I just did a $180,000 loan today. I made $1,700, and you're going, hey, fantastic, Hector. And you know right away you're going to figure out you made $870, and you weren't anywhere to be found. You might have been at your son's, Little League baseball game or something.
That sounds good.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
So I want you to think, what if you had 10 of me doing this, or 20 of me, and a bunch of different people that you trained and developed, and they were all out, seeing clients and helping clients. You could see that this could be get pretty exciting, right?
Definitely.
Right. And so on the insurance, the override's $175. On the investment, it's $65. So the override's $1,100. So, you train enough agents to do this every month, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 100. I mean, there's no limit to how many you can train, right?
Yeah.
So you could see that this number, plus what you do personally, it could start to get pretty exciting.
Wow.
You with me?
Yes.
Yeah, it can get
Yes.
really exciting. So that's what I'm gonna teach you how to do that, so that you can get to the point where you can teach other people, that you get really confident, you know exactly what you're doing, you know how to do it, you know how to train people. Because you could see what I did. Did this seem like it was really super difficult what I did
just
tonight?
read it,
You just
pretty
read
much.
Yeah, I just read it. I'm just talking to you. We're
Right.
just, and then when I did the F&A input, I just simply, what did I do? I just asked you questions, filled in the blanks.
Right.
I mean, that's something that, probably in 60 days you could get pretty confident at that, right? I'm gonna help you do that. Plus, like I said, we have that program, that training system that's phenomenal. It's gonna help you do that. So, as a regional leader, you can make, $4,000 a month with an extra $4,000 a month help right now.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
okay,
Would it?
right?
Yes.
If you build a team, it could get a lot better. And you start training people with overrides, and you can make $6,200. I mean, if you become a regional vice president with 10 regional leaders, like yourself in the business, I mean, that with everything, securities, loans, and all the other products, I mean, that's $237,000 a year. That's, $20,000 a month. If you develop 3 regional vice presidents like yourself, you start, because you can kind of get the idea. The key is to develop other people. The
Right.
better job you do of training and developing people, the more you can earn. You develop 3 RVPs, that's $500,000 a year of income.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So, I've been doing this a while. I have like 30 some first generation RVPs, and so I do very well.
Yeah.
Okay. And so the bottom line is this: you can see if you could make that, if I can help you over the next 3 or 4 or 5 years get to that. Can you see? You could probably get a place at the beach. You could, potentially drive those cars. You could do travel. I mean, can you see how that could happen?
Actually
Now
live.
that's not actually going to happen in a week, right? I mean, this is going to take it's a process. The way I looked at it when I got started is kind of like if I went back to school, right? 4-year process, right? If you looked at it like that, by the time your 4 years are up and you know how to do it and you get really good, that's what the potential is to do something like that.
Wow.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be your coach or mentor. I'm going to be every step of the way. I'm going to be there to answer questions, to help you, to coach you. A situation comes up, you're not familiar with it, you don't feel comfortable, you call me, I'll answer those questions. A lot of the stuff, like I said, will be on that training system. Anytime you have something coming up and you want to bone up on it and make sure you understand how to do it, you can go back to that training system. It'll tell you exactly what you need to do.
Wow.
It's going to be really, really great. So if you're a motivated person, this is completely doable.
Well, I'm definitely motivated.
Okay, and I've helped a lot of people do this already.
Yeah.
All right, so I know how to do it, and I know how to help people. And if you're serious and you're committed, I'll be serious and committed with you guys.
Great.
Okay.
So how much time would that all require?
Well,
as far as-
it depends on how much time you have available. I don't know what what do you think you could invest right now based on, because you have a job, it's demanding and all that. What do you think? What do you think? 10, 20 hours a week? Could you do something, squeeze in that?
I don't know, because we have the kids in sports, and I play softball 2 nights a week and stuff. So
Well, let me ask you a question, okay? Because I know you have a lot of stuff going,
Yeah.
but if you're going to change your life, if you had the potential to double, triple, quadruple your income, could you rearrange some of the stuff? Would it be worth it to you to rearrange some of that stuff, to make some different
I
choices?
wanted you to quit that team.
well, it's kind of like my escape there, from work and all
Right, I
that.
got you.
Yeah.
But if you had the chance to really live that dream life, I mean, are you willing to sacrifice a little bit in order for that to happen? Because let's face it, I don't know if you ever heard this comment before, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting, right?
Oh my
Right.
gosh.
So,
Yeah.
right? I mean, so you really need to make some different choices.
Yeah.
I mean, because this is, if you could sit in your Barca lounger at home and this would come to you, that would be great. Everybody would be rich. But let's face it, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to make some
Right.
changes. You're going to have to be willing to exert yourself a little bit.
Okay.
So the question you have to ask yourself, is your living your dreams and accomplishing what you really want important enough for you to do some things that you haven't been used to doing?
Yeah,
What do you think?
They're definitely important.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, would you be willing to do that together and make an investment and kind of rearrange your schedule and do what you need to do?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, if you get to the point where you're, double, triple your income, you don't have to work anymore, right?
gosh,
And you can spend more time with the kids. You don't think your kids would understand that?
Yeah, I guess they would.
Yeah. If you get them involved and you show them what you're doing and where you're trying to go, and you explain to, you have it, and you do it as a team, you do it as a family. You make that commitment together.
Okay, I'll give up 1 night a week and see how that goes.
Okay.
In the beginning.
Well, we'll just start with 1 night a week.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start with 1 night a week, and then this is what's going to happen. We're going to start having some success. You're going to get excited, and I promise you're going to be giving up more nights a week, and you're going to be making
Good.
bigger
Oh,
investments.
we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you just let me show you.
Okay.
I mean, I'm talking right now. I could be saying anything, right?
Right,
The
right.
proof's in the pudding, right?
Exactly.
We'll see when the rubber
We'll see how good
hits
you
the
are.
road. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Good enough to get you guys involved.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Okay.
All right.
There you go. Okay. Well, I'll be able to do that with the rest of the people. And by the way, it's going to go the way we're doing it right now. We're just here talking. We're friends, right? We're
Right.
becoming friends. When we go see people you care about, like your relatives or your good friends or coworkers, it's going to go exactly like it went tonight. It's not going to be any different than this. So I don't want you to feel apprehensive about setting appointments with them or calling them up, because, I'm not going to do anything to offend you or offend them or cause a rift between you and them. I promise you, if I did anything that would embarrass you in any way, shape, or form, you're going to stop
Yeah.
immediately, right?
Yeah,
So that doesn't make any sense for me to do that. So
Right.
when we go out, we're going to have fun. We're going to really help people. I'm going to teach you how to get to the point where you feel confident to build your own business, to do really well on your own, and to be able to feel like you can train other people like I'm going to train you. I'm going to get you to that place. It's not going to happen in a week, okay? It's going to take a little bit of while. You just got to trust me, all right?
All right.
And I'll start working with you, and we'll get you to that place.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. we'll
All
see
right,
what
great.
happens.
Well, then let's get started, man.
All right.
What I need you to do right now is do this, okay? can you go get your address book? Get your address book, because what we're going to do is we're going to put together a list of everybody that we're going to contact. All right, I want you to get your address book, and then we're going to put that list together, and then we're going to figure out who we're going to talk to first, because some people are going to be more qualified to see than others. What we don't want to do right now is, prejudge anybody. We just want to put the list, as many names as possible. I mean, you probably got 100, 200, 300 names in there. Think about when you got married, how many people did you have come to your wedding?
300.
Okay, so then there's got to be, got to be 150 plus names.
Okay.
And we're not going to see every one of them, but we're going to see a lot of them, and we're going to look at the ones that make the most sense to see. And and through that marker, I'm going to train you, I'm going to develop you, I'm going to show you what you need to do. Okay. And then a bunch of those people, the ones you like the most, we're going to get them involved, and
We want to help them.
Yeah, the ones you want to help. I want you to think about, when we go see people, who do you want to help the most?
Okay.
Who of that's in that
Definitely
address
my
book?
sister.
Yeah. Who do you guys care about the most? You really want them to do well financially. You want to, help them go on the right road, because you don't want to be supporting them down the road, right?
No.
Having to lend money. So you want to get them in solid shape as well. And we're going to do that. Okay. We're going to get them in great shape.
Yeah.
Your parents, all those people,
Yeah.
because all of them, need this, right?
Right.
They don't know it yet, but they're going to know it, okay? We're going to show them. So all you need to do is set up the appointment and get them to go show me. And I'm going to show you how to set the appointment. This is what I want you to do, okay?
Okay.
When you call them, let's say, who's a friend of yours that you, or, sister, brother, anybody, who
Gil and Pat, right?
Huh? Gil and Pat? Gil and Pat. So, and who would call? You or?
Well, he's your brother, so you would probably call him.
It'd probably be
Okay,
me.
so it doesn't matter who calls, okay? So you call, his name's Gil, right?
Gil.
I have a brother named Gil too, by the way. I didn't know that. So you call up Gil and you say, hey Gil, how you doing? How's Pat? How the kids? Blah, blah, blah. Chit chat for a minute or two. Say, listen, the reason I'm calling is Martin and I are getting involved in a new business, and we're really, really excited about it. I mean, we're so excited about it. We're even thinking about maybe making a career change. I mean, Martin's thinking about leaving Frito-Lay possibly once he learns how to do this and doing this as a career. I mean, we're that excited about it. It really has a lot of potential. And what I like to do is get some different people's opinions and feedback on this before, we make that kind of a decision or that kind of commitment. You just want to, take a look at it and see what you think. Would you mind sitting down with you and Pat, sitting down with us for, 20, 30 minutes and letting us show you what it is we're doing? And then he might say something like, well, I don't really want to buy anything, right?
Yeah, he might say that, but I'm his favorite, so he'll probably
Okay,
take
so
one
he'll
over.
probably do it. But if he does, all right, if somebody says that, you just go, listen, look, there's no obligation. You don't have to do anything. If you see something you like, great. If you don't, great. I just want to make sure I'm making the right decision before we go, any further with this. So I need your help. Would you please take a look at it? Would you help me out? And then if, like I said, if you see something great, no obligation. You see something, you can do it. If you don't, no worries. At a minimum, even if there's nothing there for you, or maybe you'll be impressed enough that you want, maybe you can help me and refer people to me. I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Would you do that for me? Yeah. So that's all you do. Just call him. Be honest with him. He's your brother. I mean, if it's a friend, you do the same thing.
It's just like what Juan did for us.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
It's exactly.
Okay.
And so, a lot of times, what when I started, I would call my friends and stuff. They'd go, well, Hector, I'm not really interested. I don't really want to, because they're kind of scared that you're going to try to sell them something or something. I'd say, look, I would never use our relationship to get you to do something you don't want or need. I mean, I would never. You know me better than that. I'm not going to do that. All I need is your help. Come on, just help me out. Take a look at this, and then, if you like it, great. If you don't worry about it. There's no pressure. That's all you need to do. So just be real. Just be honest with them.
Okay.
And if they like you, they trust you, they're going to give you an appointment. And then when we get on that appointment, I'm going to do everything. All you got to do is introduce me. I'll sit down, and what I did with you, I'll do with them, and you'll just be sitting there watching me, taking notes, paying attention. Okay. And that's how it'll work. So we're going to do that for a couple of months. You're not going to even have to do anything really until you're licensed at all. And that's going to take a little while anyway. So for the first couple of months, I'm going to do all the heavy lifting, all the work. All you got to do is make the introductions. You got the easy part.
Okay.
Okay? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, great. Fantastic. Well, guys, that's it. That's all you've got to do when you recruit somebody. That's how you get them started. That's the way you talk to them. Sometimes these little objections come up. That's the way you deal with them. It's really easy. The key thing is that you need to do is watch this over and over and over again. The more you watch it, the more comfortable you get with it. The more you get to the point where you can memorize the dialogue, what I'm saying, kind of my tonality, how I'm being. Pay attention to all those things. Pay attention to the question I asked. Pay pay attention to the way we interact, okay? The way I interact especially. If you do it just like that, my closing ratio was almost 100%. When I would sit down with the family, a couple, if they're going to do business with me, I would get probably almost 10 out of 10 to do business with me, and virtually everybody that I really wanted to recruit, I was able to recruit once I found out what they really wanted, and I got them to believe that I could help them. So I promise you, you study this information, you study this system, and you do it just like I'm sharing with you. You are going to have amazing, amazing success. You are going to be able to build a successful business that pays you whatever kind of income you want if you'll stay focused, committed, and persistent and tenacious in going after what it is you want, okay? So look forward to talking to you on the next program, and have a great day.